Good morning everyone, just heading to the new farm to do a farm walk. We'll measure the pasture there before heading back home. Wanted to give you a bit of a weekly update. Again, I meant to be on that 2 video a week schedule, but last weekend we had St. Michael's troops on Saturday. The Friday was very busy, had altar server training, so just had a lot of different things stack up. So I thought I'd quickly plug into you guys here on the drive. There's some stupid roadworks up here, so I've got plenty of time to talk. But yeah, definitely reflecting on, I guess, a few key lessons over the weekend. It's been a lot of commitments. St. Michael's troops went really well. So it was the second one. The first big one which we ran was last year, November 2nd. And then we're hitting off the year strong this year with February 7th. We got about 30 odd guys. There was a priest that was there with us the whole event. And it was really good. Despite it being a public holiday, Waitangi Day, we got a lot of people there. I'd say everything went really smoothly. The judo was really fun. I didn't injure my back, which was definitely very positive. What were our bottlenecks? Well, at charging like $25 a ticket, which is technically like the early bird and student discounted price, our idea is to try and charge $30 to $35 per entry. And the reason being is that with $25 a head, we only covered our $200 fixed rate for the gym, which is the venue hire. Jimmy Entwistle did the coaching, which we didn't pay him, he did it for free. In other cities we're having to pay coaches, so already we didn't have money to cover that, and we spent about $600 on food, which was basically just meat and bread. And that was it. The venue hire for the hall was free. So we basically only just covered our operating costs. But the idea is that because we filmed the whole event, and the idea is to also film the talk every time, that way we can produce like a high quality 20 to 40 minute vlog from the event, which guys who missed the event can watch, or it's just someone randomly on YouTube can see this and think, man, I really want to be a part of this. This is a great brotherhood. I love what they're doing. I received value from the talk, even though I was just listening to it through YouTube. So that's why the marketing is so important. But if you're thinking about it, that might be like an hour's worth of footage. I am already working however many hours a day, basically 7 days a week. You know, some days I get off, but between study and mass and altar server training and all of my commitments, I do not have time to like spend 4 or 5 hours piecing together a YouTube video. At least not to any high quality, you know? Like I can stitch it together and make like a narrative, coherent story, but that's not the same as a well-produced vlog. And let's say that would cost a minimum of at least $250, like if the guy was very good and didn't charge us much, to $500 to produce that video. But the reality is that we don't even have the revenue from the event to actually do that. And while we do have a small donor base, which ideally the funds that those people are donating to us could go to cover content and that kind of material would be good. I think we spent a little bit too much on various events. I still need to pay and do the finances for some of the other ones, but I don't think we really have much overhead at all, even with their extra donations. So basically for the next time we have to focus on, well, we definitely need more people to try and create that window for the marketing, because at the moment it's all just done like by me in my spare time, or Josh in his spare time. Like we're just sort of piecing it together, but that's like all right for maintenance or growth at the very small stage. But when we're in the process of starting this in various cities, we're in a bit of a scaling point within the organization. It's something that needs to be fixed, and we need more resources towards it, because the reality is if we're trying to produce 5 different event vlogs, plus we went on that hunting trip the other weekend, which also has to be edited, it's not really just something that can be done part-time or half-assed, if that makes sense. So that's definitely sort of one of the bottlenecks and thought processes that we're going through at the moment. I guess for me personally, yeah, it's definitely been like a good past few couple of weeks. I'm really trying to nail down my efficiency. Like it's been getting better in terms of, last month I was running the Man of God challenge, which was like a bit of a 33-day challenge, kind of similar to Exodus 90, but not quite. So that was taking some extra time for me, and I was running the coaching calls for that. So now that's over, I have a bit more time to dedicate to other things, but I'm really trying to leave the evenings free to spend with Julia, and in a few months a baby. That being said, I'm basically keeping 2 days a week, which is Monday and Tuesday, to work after work. So whether I need to do recording, editing, coaching calls, client one-on-ones, I'm basically leaving those 2 days in the evenings a bit more flexible so I can get that work done. I've got to do a lot of file management and upload my footage, clear out my phone, for example. So there's a few things which I still need to tick off, which I will use that time for. And then mainly with the study and the recording and editing, the whole goal is basically how can I keep my quality as high as possible, and I'm still learning on how to improve in the quality. Like with the study, with my focus periods, I don't find study hard, which is good, but definitely with the video editing, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to write and think of all my ideas up front. I'm going to have 7 reels, which I will get the text hook for, the verbal hook, the main idea, and then I'm going to go out and record all 7 in one go. That's why, for example, my last batch, you'll see I'm wearing the red singlet. I recorded all of those in one day, and then all I have to do is edit and upload them once a day, which still takes time. So it's just these little processes where I need to be able to save myself 5 to 10 to 15 minutes and getting those done as quick as possible so I can actually then move on to the other commitments which I need to get done. But the thing that I've kind of been thinking about with work-life balance, I guess, and I don't like the word balance, it's definitely much more of a verb, it's balancing. You know, you add on certain commitments, then you might be a little bit unbalanced, and then you kind of figure out, okay, I need to fit it in this slot, I need to get it done before this time, and then you sort of rebalance. But that's kind of the beauty of life as a young guy, and especially as a 20-year-old, is that people will disagree with me, but it's the time of life in which you should be unbalanced. You should be not sleeping enough. You should be underslept. You should be pushing hard. You should be pushing as hard as you can in the gym. Like, it's the time in your life, you know, whether or not you're married or just married or single or whatever, where you can actually afford to push yourself hard out of your comfort zone because you don't have those costs, so to speak. The older you get, the more entrenched you become in your bad habits and your complacency and your comfort zone. And it's very difficult to make like a 90-degree change at that point in time. So this is the time where you do, I guess, take that territory, you know, and create those habits, learn, like, grow in that virtue, build that business, you know, build that physical fitness. And then when it does come the time where you might have to take a step back, or when you've got kids and you just are running into a bit more harder or more fixed barriers in terms of having to spend time with the family, you can actually afford that because now you've got the time management and the discipline to where you can still keep your gym commitments, your study commitments, your side hustle commitments, and also have plenty of time to commit to your family. But if all of a sudden I'm married and I've got kids and I've been lazy all of that time when I was 20, you can't really just, well, very few people can. I guess that's the reality of it. You're not just going to suddenly start a side hustle with 3 kids. You're not just going to suddenly start to get into the gym. And, you know, again, you can, but the likelihood is much lower. So you have to take this time. It's ahead of time. It's like investing early when the stock is still low. You have to compound that discipline when you actually have the opportunity. And this is what I tell young guys. It's like, can you take the weekend off? Yes. Can you go on holiday? Technically, you can do all of these things, but what's the cost that you're paying? You're paying with your future. Your future is now going to be harder and worse because you haven't actually sacrificed, you haven't made those compromises when you had the opportunity to do so. Your time right now is time that you sacrifice on. It's fun that you compromise on for the sake of the future, for the sake of bettering the future, for the sake of having a beautiful, loving, holy family in the future, for the sake of having passive income that sustains you, that allows you to look after your children, and that allows you to give to our Holy Mother, the Church, and that allows you to genuinely build up civilization. But if you are running off every weekend, if you aren't taking this time seriously, then you're really compromising your ability to give back to others in the future. So that's really my whole mindset now. And that being said, I've said it on more than one video. I love what I do. I enjoy my life. I find my work meaningful, productive, engaging, but it's definitely hard. Like when I finished St. Michael's Troops and I woke up at 4 in the morning and we've had a big training session and I've had to introduce people and manage the event. I've got to drive all the way home, and then I've got an hour of altar server training, trying to walk these kids through the mass. The reality is that I'm tired and I'm smashed and I don't want to do it. But I understand that me putting my discomfort aside for the sake of these greater goods is absolutely 100% the best thing I can do with my time. And that's what I'll continue doing. And you can continue living your balanced life. You can continue, valuing all of these things. But again, I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. There's challenge in my life, but I have the grace and I spend enough time in prayer to fuel me through it. So God willing, I'll continue to be able to do everything that I do. And yeah, that's the goal. Right guys, we've arrived. We're going to get straight into the mahi here. I've got a farm walk, about 8 k's of measuring pasture. I'll be walking. Unfortunately, I'm wearing my gumboots, but she'll be right. We'll catch you in the next one. God bless you guys. See ya.